They have caught VP in some awkward positions, trying to wrap around the back of the T's early on, and they're giving up a lot of room, but SANJI is putting down the pain with the USP. It will be a post plant. Espada in decent positions, and Dima's hold on, but YEKINDAR with a fast rotation puts the headshot through on degster. One of those main threats has now been dealt with and suppressed. YEKINDAR with the USP goes in for another one, and FinigaN is stuck in such an awkward position. Even with the team kill from Buster, there is more than enough time for VP to get it done and get the successful defuse.
Man, Jame, he's such a smart cookie. He was getting crunched. You saw it. All the T side of Espada were crunching that jungle side. He just...
That's a good point. VP are playing this one pretty passively. The lineup, though, will see Buster go in for two. 50% of his HP is all he requires to pick up a third. And even though he may fall down to Patsi and FinigaN if he's not careful, he's done more than enough for the rest of his team to surely come in and clean up the rest. SANJI up close. They're allowing the plant to go down. Actually, they do deny it. It costs SANJI his life, but that should be the round that goes with him. And this was an investment. Espada went all in with this buy. Patsi gets a second, only 10 seconds to play with. And 50 health left means this round is a done deal. Great work by Buster.
Buster is such a boss, man. Just holding his ground, gets a 3 rounds early on, but at the same time, this could come to bite them, but that's a good catch coming out from Patsi. Window got smoked off him, but Dima, look at how much ground he's gotten. Oh, that's a good pick off from SANJI. That's the B bomb site completely for the taking.
Showing a justified late buy here at Espada. Maybe their off timing is actually what caught VP unaware in middle. YEKINDAR fell down fairly easily. Buster, though, as is so often, can get his hands on that M4 for FinigaN. And having a look at things, it seems he will get pressured. How many kills can he put down? Each kill is pretty valuable right here. Not just money in his back pocket, but additionally denies some of the weaponry that Espada are starting to pick up. But it's only a one and done. And that's pressured away, smoking down, allows him a bit of safe passage, but he's getting smacked through that smoke. Patsi with the SMG goes in first, he's the first to fall. And SANJI goes down alongside, and there's been a lot of damage inflicted from some of these nades, and Sophic will be finished off. That's also, it would have been a 4v3. As it stands though, FinigaN is now going in. This has given YEKINDAR a chance to get up close on the catwalk. But they have to play together. They can't be going out one by one. qikert gets the drop onto Dima. A huge pick, which may very well lull VP back into this round, and YEKINDAR gets his. Last player is degster, yet to get any kills in the map. But always a threat, always an issue that you have to contend with. They do now have kits, but they don't have qikert any longer. He's lost his life, leaving YEKINDAR on 26 HP. The Molotov is burning away.
Throwing him off. This is just a misdirection, though. But Buster, he's been such a rock, such a boss. He does find that first. He's going to fall back, and he has to.
But for the time being, VP in good positions. qikert needs to tread lightly. First kill goes his way. Sophic next up, though, but he has spotted the bomb. That will force you fragging. FinigaN is waiting, anticipating this play alongside YEKINDAR, who now pops up, but can't get any kills. He loses his life. They still need to explode out onto the site, though. And Jame just needs to stay alive. He knows the cavalry is coming in. SANJI with that MP9 is wrapping around the CT spawn, and Jame goes for the first peek. He gets taken down by Patsi, but now all the chips are falling into place. SANJI up against FinigaN. At this kind of range, the AK should shine, and indeed it does. What a turnaround for Espada. This is Espada's time and a potentially weakened VP. Feeling some mental fatigue. James, though, showing no sign of time. 30 seconds to play with. Espada have got to start to make moves in. And qikert taking the initiative to go for that peek down ramp. He finds the information, but it's not worth his life. And now, the 29 HP on Jame is going to be so integral if they hold the line. Molotov off. He can't stay in position. 13 seconds. The bomb is starting to traverse across to the site. Buster picks off Dima. 3-on-3. Sophic in no position to help his teammates out. He's running all the way around. He's assuming this bomb will get planted, which it now will. And now his position is that more dangerous.
Real unfortunate for Espada. This would have really made it next round almost a guarantee, but this X factor of this, and Jame even getting gushed. They're about to lose this mid control as well.
They've lost the first. YEKINDAR does come back, and not for the first time. Jame, second to the punch. He's done this a couple of times. He's a bit slow on the trigger. SANJI stuck behind the jungle smoke. qikert tries to take the initiative and press forward, but he's lost his life. Even trades back and forth. YEKINDAR and Buster face off against Dima and Sotfik. In terms of fragging power, VP have two of their heaviest hitters still alive, and that is why YEKINDAR picking up the secondary AWP, originally in connector, now needs to come full circle. Full diffusers coming in. I'm not sure this angle is good enough for Espada, and Dima will be denied.
Seal the deal, almost. A good look for Espada, but even better for VP finally getting around. Members and Buster and SANJI that Molotov is going to buy even more time. And FinigaN, this insurance plan coming out from Espada, he goes down, and now these guys are just stuck. They can only go out B tunnels. 3 of them alive. This one flashbang is the last piece of utility left, but this is just going into a firing squad, Vince.
Yeah, just bloodshed, having to pay the ultimate price.
Jame getting pushed off that mid a little early, and this time he's rotated B, and the perfect timing as well, because SANJI owned a good retake. Oh, that's a lot of damage.
Buster is just shutting them down from connector. I completely agree. I think they have given up A so many times. They haven't really shown much fight when it comes to these retakes, but that's definitely going to make things that little bit easier for VP when Buster locks it down from short side. These are angles of the map that Espada have got to get a hold of. Patsi shut down multiple angles, was having to contend with YEKINDAR's org.
Sometimes he just completely has the ability to take over a game, and one player passes by FinigaN. That's a solid trade. This is a Kobe if I've ever seen one. Patsi gets taken out, and YEKINDAR, he's burning alive at the moment. He's gonna be okay. It's 3 versus 3, Vince.
Some great stalling frags, though, for VP. It's kept Espada at arm's reach, and when you have AWPs on YEKINDAR and Jame, that could be an issue. Jame, though, gets quick peek from degster. YEKINDAR knows he's in such an awkward spot. He desperately needs SANJI to have some impact, and SANJI, in the meanwhile, can't quite get there fast enough. Degster slowly edging round the side of the smoke, seeing once it dissipates if he can get the shot off and finds SANJI, plucks him out. Very true. They are at least looking at the possibility of bringing this back to only a 1-round deficit, but they've lost the first. YEKINDAR goes down to Sotfik. Great counteractive kill from Jame, and there's Buster as well.
Spotted, but he's also spotted them. The communication is definitely going through. Oh, that's a huge miss, but Buster is always there to back him up, and now it's down to a 3 versus 2. Jame still sitting at ticket booth, and SANJI finds another. It's all down to Dima. He's got the bomb on his back, but he's about to be surrounded.
Outmanned, outmaneuvered, and outgunned. With 39 HP, make that 0. qikert puts him down with spawn, so it just gives us a little bit more time to discuss that first half, Potter. We were both a little bit surprised at how...
It also helps that Espada decided to give up this bomb site, but that execute, that read, it looks like they totally outplayed Espada in this round. SANJI, he's going to have to make sure he holds on to this cat. He does have the backup right now in YEKINDAR. And yeah, this retake's gonna be so tough. Already utilizing that smoke, no more utility for Espada. And degster, he's being real patient. He wants his teammates in market to be able to find some kill first. SANJI going down, and YEKINDAR even going down. Buster all of a sudden is under a lot of pressure, but he handles it fairly well. I say that, and everyone goes down, Vince. The retake, it comes through. degster was being so patient towards that cat. I don't know if SANJI turned around or exactly how to flash and that Tech 9. This should help things, and qikert goes for that initial duel, but he gets taken down. degster just holding his ground, crouched in the corner of window, and things are not going...
Lost the Tech 9 wielding SANJI. qikert, who got the weapon across, was next in the chopping block. YEKINDAR may have got one, but that's all he will pick up from this round. Was anticipating a player to be on the CT boxes, doesn't spot anybody, so keeps pushing forward. degster just caught a glimpse of him, so makes the call for the fast rotations. Buster with the spray, doing damage to Dima, then finishes him off, but there's only 15 seconds to play with. The bomb is retrievable in eye shot, but Buster needs to go for that plant, and the smoke that was helping him out on connector is now faded. It needs to be kills, and they need to come through right now. Patsi goes for the wide swing, and there's the MP9 spray. It is before the end of time, so VP will be...
It's a lot of pressure, and Dima, he's even going to push up for B tunnel control. There it is. Buster does punish a little bit too much of an aggressive... And I actually do like this re-aggression coming from Sotfik, pushing exactly where his teammate just died, and it pays off for him. He's able to pick off Buster. This should be a lot of information as well. The fact that it's so quiet in B tunnels is everything for Espada. And Patsi, he's ready for it. Sitting at this ticket booth with this sniper rifle. Oh, that's a huge miss. He definitely needed to hit that one. And it's the A bomb site. It's going to go down, Vince. The bomb goes down.
All game. The VP claw themselves back in. 4-round deficit. More than enough money to buy in again, of course.
But qikert. Oh, at least he does find the one onto Patsi. That's actually huge.
Limited value, because VP are now starting to press the aggression over on the other side of the map. The flank is coming in, but SANJI's waiting. He anticipated that could be a possibility. And now with smokes and flashes alongside Molotovs being exchanged between the two teams, the bomb has been dropped out momentarily. degster keeping this round alive. Even though his team trailed by a player, there's only 15 seconds to make it work. And Sotfik is coming up through on catwalk. Spray is good, but another smoke in perfect position while he nearly takes down YEKINDAR through that smoke. That would have been huge, but instead, I think he may have to lick his wound.
Himself, and the fact that he has a kit and a smoke definitely gives him the possibilities. Oh, his crosshair was so close, but Jame.
Smoke's now being deployed over on B. The smoking window is cleared just in time for Sotfik to allow himself a bit of a swing in. Molotov will force him out into the open, but not before degster makes short work of YEKINDAR. They have a good idea as to what's coming up now, Espada, so they're trading off some of their players towards the A side of the map. FinigaN will be joined by degster, but qikert is taking this opportunity to start to pivot out. Jame finds Dima, a very important kill, because Dima could have shut 2 or 3 players down from the back. That could have been the round done, but they've got a good trifecta established. Crossfire's in play, and Tetris goes unchecked, and FinigaN punishes them. He sprays down Buster. That will be the round done. Jame has to go save. He has no chance at clutching this. I gave Espada not enough credit. I said it was 12-11 at the start of this round. Won't be happening. They actually extend the lead to
aggression in mid in the beginning of the round, and a run boost coming out. degster just dodges it, leaves Patsi all alone, and no trade to be found. There we are. These duels coming out on top for VP.
Done indeed. Now he absolutely knows it. qikert's there. He's waiting for another jump to come into play, but FinigaN could have had him dead. That could have been a very important moment in the round. And with 30 seconds, VP change up their angles. They head to the A side. Espada don't really have the money to justify this, but Sotfik actually pushes through the Molotov. What a madman. That's not a play that I was anticipating. At least VP were, though. That leaves Dima.
VP are definitely aware, and Dima's gonna survive. Hopefully. He does find the one in SANJI. Gets a nice AK for himself, but qikert, he's hot on the toes. These sound cues is going to be dangerous for Dima. Oh, qikert might get this. I think he will.
Terrorists win.
Oh no, just with a second to spare, the full-on A execute. And this is incredibly quick. They're not waiting around. They're not allowing the CTs to get in position. And you can see that FinigaN was completely isolated from the rest of his teammates. These smokes and flashes have been so good, and Espada cannot handle the heat.
He doesn't care. He wants to punish them. The hunt is on. qikert finds one, and even Dima should be going down soon. Both players really low. But just surviving. Look at these bullets. Oh my god. Just surviving.
The T-half would be looking pretty good. It's lived up to that mark. FinigaN getting aggressive. Beautiful crosshair placement. Actually double taps YEKINDAR.
They hit. They will meet back up with Jame. And Patsi. Oh man, this is such a prime position for Patsi. He gets the find onto SANJI, and they're not even aware.
Still alive, still kicking. Smoke's been put down. FinigaN was last spotted in Palace. Now he shows his hand again. That's the round done. Espada pull it out. Some have other ideas. Even if they do want to hit B, they have to deal with this threat of Dima. It's a good flashbang, and that will yield the kill. 30 seconds to go. Now they're going to start exploding through catwalk, but degster has made moves in. Great flick onto YEKINDAR, goes back in for seconds, but Jame is there waiting for him. Incendiaries and flashes. HG's being tossed to the back of Van, and finally they get their man. Patsi is punctured in the head by Buster. Espada try and retreat. They try and keep themselves alive, but SANJI keeps it down to just FinigaN. That was another incredibly tense round though, Potter, where
Hunting all game long, and FinigaN, he will survive.
Making moves through on ramp, trying to catch a few of these CTs out in the open, getting one. FinigaN's pushing in, can't quite connect the dots for a second time, but there's been so much damage, so many softened targets that are now being finished off. qikert by ordnance does the rest onto degster. Well, FinigaN taking so many flashbangs to the face, finally picked off. Now, as information gathered from ramp earlier on, and now Espada are crumbling. It's the MP9 that comes good for Patsi. He can now trade up to the M4. Snappy aim, instantly goes of VP. This should be a lost cause now. He has to go in for it. He knows his days are numbered, and Jame puts him down with authority. VP first half on their CT side. They bridged back from a 7-2 deficit. Now SANJI will get the drop, but actually comes out second best. Dima had no right to win that fight. SANJI will be bitterly disappointed he let that one slip.
Eesh. Jame does have a... But this B split, man, Sophic under a lot of pressure. And he just goes down.
If FinigaN can even land one, it may be good enough. He's been biding his time flawlessly. There's the first. The bomb now needs to trace the cross. That's allowed a Patsi to show his hand. FinigaN should have done enough, but James somehow comes back with another one. He's got time for the plant, but degster wall bangs him.
That crosshair placement looks so damn deadly. Oh, that's a lineup.
No one checks it. They just run straight through connector, giving up so many angles, and they get... And qikert, who's in Palace, flashbang over, affords them to go in for that first peek, but FinigaN off angle, may get caught, barrel the gun round the corner, and this is way cleaner. This is much better from VP. A 180 turn from that previous round where they got slaughtered, and now it's down to Patsi. He can only post up the one frag, of course, with 16k starting money. No real reason for him to try and save this. They've got plenty of funds for the next one. He'll get peeked by qikert, who puts the bullet in his head. 16 apiece.
Dominant round, and Buster, he's going aggressive. He's going through this Molotov. They even smoke it out. Completely blind as Patsi. FinigaN has a response, but so many people in his crosshairs. He goes down as well. VP so aggressive into this round, Vince.
Yeah, did a great job of isolating jungle so they could fully focus their fire on CT, knowing that there would be no crossfire. Firebox will live up to its name. Dima tosses one in. YEKINDAR has to come out into the open. Dima is there, laid in wait, picks up two. And in this 3v4 retake, Espada now have the advantage. Jame, with 27 kills, puts a 28 down range. Changing his angle slightly, SANJI helps him out, but now Dima, through the smoke, pounces for another couple, and he picks up the 4K, and he picks up the round. A huge moment for Espada once again.
Wow. Espada are so bringing in everything, and YEKINDAR missing the opening there. And he's, the aggression coming up from Cat. Degster finds an opening.
Maneuver.
SANJI half blind there, gets taken out by Patsi. And this is completely going to sell the fake. Look at the mini-map, Vince. Not a single defender is out towards A. If Dima is able to find one more, that would be perfection. There it is. Both players still thinking it's B. The bomb will go down. This should be a fairly easy post plant, especially the fact that degster has this AWP. There is some utility left for Buster and qikert. But man, degster just has all the line of sight he wants in the world. There it is, FinigaN almost sealing the deal.
He only seemed half-hearted at the end, didn't he? He was almost like, I should go for this, but I know I'm a dead man if I do. So yeah. I think I'll just chill instead, which allowing Sophic to go for the insta-peek towards catwalk. Those are the kind of little intricate moments that can get you caught, but it's Buster with the AWP from ladder room that pounces in first and makes Sophic his prey. They can't really base too much intel around that pick, though.
Oh my
And
goodness.
Buster taking down degster, who walks through the smoke. Up close, it's hard to see what Dima can get done, if anything.
There's one. Things are awkward, but if things are really awkward now. Oh, he finds another. That's not good, Vince. 2 versus 2. YEKINDAR, that trigger discipline. Okay, this almost makes things.
That should be it done, even if FinigaN gets the first. It had to be a clean kill. With the 2v1 and being wrapped around the back, it had to be an insta-snappy headshot. And then him changing his avenue of aggression.
And that's the beautiful thing of having Jame on your squad. But qikert, he is under a lot of pressure. He's handling it so well. Just cold mouth one with the AK. Why not? Gets 2 kills through the smoke. And he does get traded out, but man, he's done so much work. The bomb will go down. But VP, they've shown that these are the kind of retake scenarios that they...
VP again basically gave up A. degster, trajectory of the grenade, but still goes down to Buster, who has enough time to change to his AWP, put it down range, and we are headed to second overtime. Unless Patsi pulls off a masterful clutch, he's gone in for so many, but Jame is the last man standing, and he should have enough time for the defuse. I almost wrote Patsi off there. I apologize profusely, and you scared me for a second, and I'm sure he scared me.
No AWP this time for degster. They just want to go in for a fast A. Heavy trades coming out, but Jame finds
middle control, so they're not sure if VP are getting aggressive. If they're maybe flanking, that could force them into an awkward position. Could be playing the mind games with themselves, their own worst enemies. Buster, with the flash accompanied by him, goes in, but it's degster and Patsi that actually come out swinging before a weakened degster is finished off. Trades keep going back and forth, but will favor VP, and they take the lead in our second OT.
in these B tunnels. And he's going to try to find the timing once again, and that flash, it catches SANJI off guard completely. Dima has been finding a lot of ground towards his B, and once again, he's successful. That's the B bomb site gone and for the taking.
2v4, qikert still here, but not for much longer. Dima has been a man possessed. He picked up a 4K earlier, which basically got Espada into overtime in the first place. And now he's put a trio together and gets to the assist on timings, favoring Espada slightly, and these intricate, minute leads can start to snowball into something bigger, and that's what Patsi is trying to do as he shoves away Buster in the round. Jame taking a lot of damage from that Molotov. He wanted to hold in position and take down the ramp. Good flick from YEKINDAR. This time, I have to deal with 2 players who've actually got a crossfire set up. If one of them goes down, that's probably the round over, and it's going to be Jame that picks up the first. The bomb spills out into the open. Sandwich goes unchecked. The round is done.
Espada trying their damnedest to throw that misdirection, and that was a lot of pressure. I thought his teammate is there to help him a little bit, but he's going to have to expend so much utility to get out of there, and he gets punished for it. SANJI's going to try his hand now, but it just became a lot more risky for him. They do not have top mid control, and there it is. SANJI just gets taken out. And this is what I mean, Vince.
Sort of tense situation like this, it should be VP. They got so much more experience. This round is looking like it's a done deal already. Even if degster does fall, there's a rotation play in effect, and Dima would never have been spotted early. It has still afforded VP the luxury of moving through onto the van. This puts Patsi in a kind of an awkward position. The smokes are good for him, though. It allows him to bypass the first player. qikert's been sent reeling out of the round. Grenades now being tossed to Van. That's going to do hefty damage, but not before Buster makes short work of Patsi. SANJI takes off the head. Free haircut for Dima. Not at the perfect time, though. 2v3. Make it all down to FinigaN. And although he's on the fast wrap, it's not fast enough. His teammates have all dropped around him. And the flank is only ever as good as the supporting cast. There is no supporting cast. Now FinigaN had to snap in for a potential kill. He's given his position away. VP will have another map point. Well, he could still come out swinging here. He could single-handedly get them across the finish line. You can never really count him out, but qikert will be counted out with a full 10. as degster puts him out of his misery with the AWP. Spots the second player hopping across to the left-hand side. He's going to go hunting for this. He overextends. Oh no, he hits the shot, but did it get winged? Did it hit his arm?
I think it
can't believe
clipped
that.
the wall. And YEKINDAR even got a wall kill, and SANJI finds one into Sotfik. Oh man, just the smallest of margins. FinigaN though gets a lineup for himself. That was everything. He is low. VP know exactly where he is, but the immediate trade, it doesn't come through. Oh, that's a huge miss for YEKINDAR. I'm tripping over my tongue here, Vince.
Maybe there is a way back into this round and VP can get it done. He spots him, looking for that secondary player. Insta-tap. Now Espada can move into position, but not before Jame gets the post plant. Lack of grenades could be an issue. One of the two CTs is headed towards the B app, and Jame will not hear that from this position just yet. It all comes down to the waiting game. We know Jame is a patient player. He is disciplined. He is meticulous in his approach. And so far, he's played the round perfectly. Dima's now shown his hand. And Jame snaps it off. The HP is in favor of Jame. He spots FinigaN. And now he relocates. FinigaN presses in. It's looking good for Jame to clutch this round. He just has to play the time. He just has to play the position. And there's the headshot. VP get it done. VP sweat again. FinigaN already taking a positive angle alongside Patsi, but they have lost the first player, and it's Buster that chimes.
It's actually going to push Sotfik out just even a little bit further out. Patsi's able to find one, but the quick trade coming in from YEKINDAR.
Quick trade is good and affords them the bomb plant. Also, puncturing through the smoke is Buster's USP, and that lays it all down to degster 1-on-4. In terms of aim, the guy is definitely capable of pulling off these kinds of rounds, but VP will be a tough adversary. At the first block, he nearly stumbles, does hold on. Enough resolve to yield the kill. He's trading weapons to try and get more ammunition in the magazine. There's also a very fast flank all the way around the back from Jame. These are not plays that you expect to come up against. So even though he's getting the kills and he's carving a path, there's no longer enough time on the fuse of the bomb. He's going to go down with the ship. He's already accepted his fate. And he gets blown into round 2. VP
Come down to these shots, degster, he's got to be good for it.
That's the bomb. That's the bomb in a really awkward spot, but now degster has got to start landing some shots. He desperately requires assistance as well from Patsi, but they've both fallen. Sotfik is next, and Dima was still on B side. The call didn't come through early enough, but I completely agree with you, Potter. It felt like Espada were maybe a little bit tentative and desperate, preemptive with their nade usage. And when you have FinigaN, who's on balcony with only the Galil, it's not like
in that moment, and it just came down to the shots at that point.
Failed pick in middle. When him getting tagged down low, they felt that they had to buy him up enough time to relocate. Mentioning him, geez, he's actually got to the side. Does allow them to hide in position. Library has not been smoked off. Some more peeks will be coming in. Dima takes down the bomb carrier of Jame, and now YEKINDAR is trying desperately to put some bullets through that smoke to deal with the oncoming threat. But it's Dima with the AK that comes out swinging again. SANJI 1-on-2, had a slow Mirage, but can he pick up the pace here on Inferno? Perforates the smoke, 40 seconds. And may get peeked on his left-hand side, and Dima with his formalized defense on A. Interestingly, nobody was over on Arches for a considerable amount of time. Now they've turned back around there with degster. But it's Dima who has been in such fine form, while fully flashed still connects onto qikert. And that should be the round that follows up.
Dima doing work towards this B. Buster heard the sound cues. He sees the shoulder of degster. This is going to be a huge play. Oh, but he swings a little too wide. Map Dima just 100 HP. Even gets a blind kill in the round. So a lot of things coming through. Patsi seems to be aware of it, but there's about to be 3 targets in his crosshair. That's way too many. The spread, the space is perfect for VP. Dexter's under a lot of pressure, and he just gets traded out. That's the A site gone. This is a post-plant scenario. The AWP is in YEKINDAR's hands, and that's it. Espada, they've got to...
A VP then in a good position to start hitting B fast as well, because I'm not too sure. Seemingly has reconnected. We are all good to go. And that aggression from degster this time will not work out. He missed his 2 shots and Dima could not help him out. Great flashbangs and smokes tossed in. It was a 3-player stack up on Banana again, and Buster spins down and takes the head of Sophic. You probably don't expect to see Dima also here behind the sandbags, but if Buster can hold his resolve and take down Dima, it would have been a complete collapse. As it stands, FinigaN, that player I mentioned earlier, that's not really had a chance to really show his will, takes down 2 softened targets and gives this a chance. Espada 2-on-2 post plant.
Man, another potential spray down. That spray transfer almost coming to fruition. He may have just done enough. SANJI is squished down a little bit to half HP, but Jame in prime position, that shadow giving away everything from Patsi. Happening time and time again. Dima, he has to survive here, but now he's stuck. That Molotov, the movement coming out from Jame. Result of it. But again, we see the 3 members, they're just butting their head right back into it, Vince. They're fighting for this banana, and they lose it again. Yes, into the mix. It's definitely a lot of options still on the table. It's just a matter of...
Would be huge. Sophic had a bit of a rough game so far. His woes continue. YEKINDAR takes his head clean.
They just send a message received, and they're falling off back of it. Beautiful double peek, but both
FinigaN with the AWP. Not necessarily the first player you expect to see it with it on Espada. Normally degster, and maybe that's why. Jame was too fast. And now for all of the positives that we were just discussing, Patsi against the world. Bomb has been dropped down first, but this is where things should come to an abrupt end, or perhaps not. Patsi looking to be a hero, pulls down the play. He doesn't need any...
top B control. This looks like it could just turn into a full-on B exec, and with just 2 defenders here, things could get real ugly really fast. What an interesting stack. Dima is good for it, but he's so low. VP know it. Only 1 defender on this B bomb site.
Dima against the world, and Dima comes out first. And now that he's put up enough of a nuisance and a blockade, the rest of his team can come through. Dima doesn't even need to peek in for the last, but he still goes in for the 4K.
Right now, Espada have the advantage in the weaponry and in the man advantage. Oh, but Sophic goes a little too over.
If they need it, Dima's making moves straight through Banana. He could get the flank frag onto Jame, who never suspected it was a possibility. The bomb still hasn't been planted. They need SANJI now to shut down Dima before they even attempt this, but he's a bit slow. Dima's actually picking up the pace. He's got the headshot onto Buster. Another horrific turn of events for VP. SANJI was in the apps. He had everything in the palm of his hand, but VP will concede to just yet. YEKINDAR needs to get some kills. You assume he will go down. How many frags can he post up beforehand? Well, none is the resounding answer. And now Patsi in the tunnels is hearing so many footsteps. This position is so good for Espada. He'll let them all pass. Sophic and the rest of the troops will sit here and wait. And this is about to get messy. This is about to become a bloodbath. But Patsi actually missing out a ton of bullets. Somehow VP is still in this round. Somehow it's a 1v2 that could turn back around in their favor. And Buster has only a few more bullets to spare. And Dima does silence him. But the side of the map, he's playing Speedway. And he needs to quickly wrap back around up close and personal. Spray is good for plenty of damage, but only 1 kill. Espada hanging on by the narrowest of margins. Spray through the smoke, even more damage being inflicted, and James through the smoke, through the coffin. And through Sophic will drop the bomb, and that should be the round done and swept away. Dima, they're more keeping their options available to hit A in multiple facets. First player that steps up is YEKINDAR. There's no follow-up, though. Ooh. They're going out 1 by 1, and now the smokes are clearing. It seems too disjointed, too indecisive. And Espada are being picked apart, ripped to shreds. It may be a clean sweep of a round, and indeed it shall. You could see the ideas there.
That late flashbang will bring him in. Oh, and YEKINDAR thought...
They're already posting up for a potential retake, it would appear. Goes back in again. Right idea, but the spray not quite a healthy dosage of weaponry alongside it. You don't want to throw away these kind of economic situations unless you really have to. Jane Threads the bullet in the eyes of Dima, but there's not really enough time on the clock. They need to start getting up close, and they need to get it done right now. They need these frags, and the fact that Twistzz has held his ground, that's the round done. Try as they may, VP will not get back onto the site, and Espada ties up again.
Confident, does miss that initial shot, and YEKINDAR, he's back to square one. Coming through, he's half blind, and the reload catches him off guard, and Dima, once again, finding the two entry.
Giving Espada way too many opportunities. Some confusion coming in. I mean, going into this game, players alive now affords them a chance at a couple more cracks at it. Even if they do concede this next round, they're still going to have AKs. They're still going to have...
Are absolutely showing that they're ready to fight back. Oh, again, YEKINDAR getting caught out. At least...
Good. Now, this is the correct decision, but they can't be sure of it. Molly's coming around the back of the site, and now SANJI pushes the smoke and affords Buster the chance to hold the line. Grenade could be good to finalize this round. FinigaN is getting shredded.
Positions, and it's not helping VP's case, the fact that YEKINDAR is kind of...
To the logs, he sees Dima's Molly being tossed just behind him, and he has Buster up, playing anti-flash. First kill onto...
Oh, things are real awkward with these VP rotations. Thankfully, Buster, he's got this AWP on the angle. And it looks like they'll be able to recover. There's only 8 seconds left on the clock. Things are real sketch for Espada right now, but man, Vince, it could have really gone the other way. YEKINDAR, there was a lot of confusion.
Will be joining him. qikert, who's been very tricky in the apps, decides to push into the Molotov, and Patsi can't believe it. Buster now holds the line over on B, springs Espada in. We're waiting a little bit longer, maybe faking as if they've rotated back towards middle, but they line up, and there's YEKINDAR. Now he's playing a bit more passively and not going hell for leather down banana. He's getting way more success, and although FinigaN puts up a pretty spicy headshot, it feels like this will be getting dulled down very shortly. 9 seconds to play with. Buster puts the final nail.